Hey everyone, I'm Allison, and we're going to meet a special friend of mine today. Well, actually, we're going to talk on the phone with her. Are you ready? Hey Shrimpita, how are you?
Oh, hi! I'm doing just great. I was just making a statue of myself using macaroni.
Wow, that sounds like fun. I wish I could join you. I'm glad we can talk on the phone though, even if we can't hang out in person.
Yeah, well, I am a pretty fun person to hang out with, Allison. Everybody says so.
Bye, Shrimpita.
Bye, Allison.
I am so glad that we can talk to our friends on the phone or even see them on the computer screen. And you know who else we can talk to? God! He loves to talk to us, and he loves when we talk to him. So here's our big idea today. We can talk to God. Let's do those motions together. We can talk to God. Great job. Let's go hear some more about this story. 1, 2, 3. Now, do you know what this is? It's a Bible, and it's all about God's story and how he rescued us. In the beginning, God made the whole world and everything in it. He made the sun and moon and planets and stars. He made forests and mountains and oceans. He made all kinds of animals, like lions and elephants and birds. Next, God made his most special creation of all, people like you and me. The first two people were named Adam and Eve. They lived in a beautiful garden filled with flowers and trees and fruit. They got to spend time with God every day, and it was good. Can you show good? Great job. Then something sad happened. Can you show me sad? A snake lied to Adam and Eve, and they believed him and disobeyed God. Then all the wrong things came into the world, like sickness and sadness and death. But the story doesn't stop there, because even though Adam and Eve disobeyed God, God still loved them just like he loves us. And he came up with a rescue plan so that Adam and Eve and you and me could be close to God again. And our rescuer is Jesus. Can you show me the sign for Jesus? Great job. Today, we'll learn about a boy named Samuel. He was a kid, just like you. Samuel lived with Eli, and Eli was teaching Samuel how to follow God. One night, Samuel went to bed. He was fast asleep when all of a sudden, Samuel heard his name out loud. Samuel woke up right away and was kind of confused. He thought that Eli was talking to him. Let's see what happened next.
God's story, Samuel. So part of God's story is about Samuel, and it goes like this. Samuel was a prophet, or a person who hears from God and shares God's messages with others. And everything God says is true. The first time Samuel heard from God, he was actually a kid. One night when Samuel was sleeping, he heard someone calling his name. This might have seemed really strange. So Samuel woke up and thought Eli, who lived in the same place, was calling for him. Samuel ran to Eli and said, "Here I am. You called me?" But Eli said, "I did not call you. Go, lie back down." So Samuel lay back down. Then he heard his name again. He ran to Eli a second time and said, "Here I am. You called me?" And Eli said, again, "I did not call you. Go lie back down." This must have been really confusing. Samuel lay back down, and then it happened again. When he ran to Eli a third time, Eli thought it might be God who was talking to Samuel. Eli said, "Go and lie down. If someone calls out to you again, say, 'Speak, Lord, I'm listening.'" Samuel obeyed. When he heard someone say, "Samuel," he answered, "Speak, Lord, I'm listening." And you know what? It was God, and God had lots of things to say to Samuel. God told Samuel some difficult news that he had to deliver to Eli. Now, Eli was a priest, but had made some wrong choices, so God told Samuel that Eli wasn't going to be allowed to be a priest anymore. Samuel was scared because he was pretty sure Eli was going to get upset, but Samuel obeyed God anyway. At first, Eli was upset. But then Eli said, "He is the Lord. Let him do what he thinks is best." See, sometimes people don't like hearing what God has to say, but a prophet has to care more about what God says than what people say. When Samuel grew up, the Israelites asked him to pick someone to be their king. Samuel wasn't sure this was what God wanted, so he asked God about it. God said, "Tomorrow I will send a man to you. He is from the land of Benjamin. He is the one I have picked to be king of Israel." Sure enough, the next day, a tall, strong man came to Samuel. When Samuel looked at him, he heard God say, "He is the man I told you about. His name is Saul. He will rule over my people." Samuel heard what God told him to do, and he obeyed. Samuel anointed Saul as a symbol that God had picked him to be king. But Saul ended up being pretty selfish and making a lot of wrong choices. And when God said it was time to replace Saul with a new king, God sent Samuel to anoint a shepherd boy, the youngest and smallest of his brothers, named David. David also heard from God and obeyed, and David grew up to be the greatest king Israel ever had, until a long time later, when a boy named Jesus was born. Even as a kid, Jesus showed people around him how to hear from God and obey. See, everyone can hear from God. Kids, grown-ups, kings, cowboys, moms, dads, mimes, teachers, astronauts, bird watchers, bird-watching mimes. Everyone. We can hear from him in the middle of the night when we're trying to sleep. Or we might hear something that surprises us. But we don't have to be a grown-up or a prophet or a king in order for God to notice us and for us to hear from him. It's like when God told Samuel, "The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." And that's a little about the story of Samuel. So in case you missed it, here's the quick version. Samuel was a boy who heard from God. God talked to him in the middle of the night. God told Samuel to make Saul a king. Later, God told Samuel to make David king. Samuel heard from God and obeyed. We can hear from God too, and that's a part of God's story.
Wow, Samuel was pretty confused. At first, he thought Eli kept calling out to him over and over again. But it was God. God was speaking to Samuel, just like I'm speaking to you right now. When Samuel finally realized it was God, he said, "Speak, God, I'm listening." After that, Samuel and God talked all the time. And you know what else? We can talk with God too, and he always listens to us. Isn't that amazing? God actually wants to hear what we have to say. You can tell God anything. You can tell him about your day. You can tell him what makes you happy or what makes you sad, mad, or worried. You can ask him to help you. You can even just tell God, "I love you." And he wants to hear all of it. And you know what else? You can listen to God too. Let's talk with Jesus right now. When we talk with Jesus, that's called prayer. Jesus listens to us, and we can listen to him too. You can say these words after me. Hi, God. We love you. Thank you for talking to us. You are always with us. Amen. Now let's worship. We're going to give all our attention to Jesus. So let's stand up and sing as loud as you can while we sing this special song.
You tell me to stand up, that's what I'll do. You tell me to sit down, I'll do that too. All I want is what you want me to do. 'Cause I just wanna be like you. I'll do like you do, like you do, like you do. I'll do like you do, like you do, like you do. I'll do like you do, like you do, like you just wanna be like you. If you want me to shout out, that's what I'll do. If you want me to whisper, I'll do that too. All I want is what you want me to do. 'Cause I just wanna be like you. I'll say what you say, what you say, what you say. I'll say what you say, what you say, what you say. I'll say what you say, what you say, what you say. I just wanna be like you. If you tell me to stand up, that's what I'll do. If you tell me to sit down, I'll do that too. All I want is what you want me to do. 'Cause I just wanna be like you. I'll do like you do, like you do, like you do. I'll do like you do, like you do, like you do. I'll do like you do, like you do, like you do. I just wanna be like you.
Thanks for hanging out with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. And more importantly, remember, we can talk with God.
I'll do like you do, like you do, like you do. I'll do like you do, like you do, like you do. I'll do like you do, like you do, like you do. I just wanna be like you. I'll say what you say, what you say, what you say. I'll say what you say, what you say, what you say.